During this process, was there any moments you felt like quitting? And if so, how did you get through it?
At least once a week, no question. Last week was particularly tough, and it came because I launched my online course, and it was this big buildup. And I think this happens a lot when you have your own business, is you work so hard on something for so long, and then it's over. And you're like, well, now what? And so there's the now what part, which makes you question, okay, well, do I keep doing this or do I do something else? And there's the expectation versus reality of what you wanted to happen and what actually happened. And so if what you wanted to happen didn't, and it was less than you anticipated, you can't help but stop and think, is this a sign? Should I stop? Should I be focusing on something else? Or is this just a hurdle that I need to get through? And something I have to ask myself a lot as an entrepreneur is this my ego talking or is this my intuition? And I don't know the answer most days. And what I mean by that is this my gut, my intuition, giving me a hint that like, you shouldn't be doing this? Or is this my ego, being like, you're better than this. You should be making more than this. You should da-da-da-da-da. And they're very similar. So yeah, there's times that I think about quitting regularly, but not to the point where I actually would yet. I'm not sure what it would take to get me to quit, but I'm tempted a lot.
It's an interesting balance because I think, do I give it up or is it my ego? Or even when somebody reach out and they be like, well, how much do you charge? I'm like, how much am I worth? Or how much am I going to give you? I'm gonna charge you based on what I believe your budget is.
The charging thing is a whole other
realm.
realm.
It's
That's
like,
hard.
Your budget. So you always want to go back and forth, like, what do you have? And I can figure something out.
Yeah, that's a very challenging part, and you can't help but tie your ego up to it a bit, because when you're selling yourself as a service, you're selling yourself, and it doesn't always feel good. And there's so much more that goes into it than what you're giving that person in the moment. It's all your education, it's your years of experience, it's you honing your material and honing your process. But that's hard to explain in, a sales page of like, listen, I know you're only getting 8 hours for this much, but you're really getting hundreds of hours, and you're getting everything that came before this, and it's tough. It's very tough.
Yeah, you can't quantify your 16 years.
No.
Plus the time you did in high school, plus the time you learned
your
the lesson.
Whole life
Yeah.
is, little data points leading up to who you are today. And with that in mind, like, you should be charging more every year because you're getting better every year and you're getting more and more honed in at your craft, but that's hard to justify too.
Thank you for watching A Wise Way. Subscribe to stay updated, share to pass the knowledge, or view our other videos on the left.